Hi everyone, uh, welcome back. In today's session, we are diving into one of the most important foundations of programming, working with data types and variables in Python. You will learn how to assign values to variables, how to identify the types of data you are working with, and how to reassign variables when needed. We will also go through some real-world challenges, spot common coding mistakes, and show you how to avoid them. By the end, you will be equipped with everything you need to write cleaner, smarter code using Python variables. And let's get started. So, we're going to be talking about variables and data type. And before we go into more details, let's define what is variable. A variable is a name that stores a value, and you can refer to the value at a later time. A variable is a name that you can use to store a value, so that at a later time when you need to call that value, you can use the variable to call the value. And you understand what I mean in a minute. And also you can assign value to the variable. And what kind of value can you assign to variables? It could be numbers, it could be text, it could be logical responses using assignment operator. In Python, uh, assignment operator is just an equal sign that we are used to in mathematics. So in mathematics, in Python, we use this as our assignment operator. But in mathematics, this is an equal sign. But in Python, what is now equal sign? So equal sign in Python is double assignment operator. I hope that is clear. Now let's talk about the data types. In about a couple of videos ago, we talked about three basic data type. We have the strings, we have the integers, and we have the float. And how do we, and when you work with these data types in a program, you normally assign them to variables. And that was the reason why we first defined what variable was. Variable is a name that stores a value, so that at a later time you can record the value using the variable name that you used to store it. So, and when you are working with this data type, when you are working with the data types in a program, you normally assign them to variables. So which means this data type can work on their own. You have to assign them to variables. So the strings, how do we identify strings? Strings are basically wrapped up with a quotation mark. When you see a character, word, or numbers that are enclosed within a quotation mark, just know that that is string. Okay. Example is first name, first underscore name. So let's say we assign Mike to first name. If you look at it now, this is wrapped up with a quotation mark. This is telling you it's string. Okay, and that's how to know them. They are always wrapped up with a quotation mark. Then what about numeric? How do we identify numeric? Let's say quantity 1. Let's say we assign 5 to quantity 1. Okay, uh, for integers, they are generally whole numbers. As long as they are whole numbers, then you are good. Then the next one, quantity 2, we assign 5 to it. And also list underscore price, we assign 19.99. So when you look at it right now, 19 point decimal numbers are floating numbers. So look, this is automatically floating numbers because of the decimal. And this quantity 1, let me change this to 3. So quantity 1 is 3. This is whole number, this is whole number. These are numeric, this is decimal, this is float, and this is wrap up under quotation mark, this is string. And another way for you to test is to use combination of print and type function. Use combination of print and type function. So you're going to enclose a type function inside print function. Then here say you print first name. So when you print out first name, let's print the next one too. Let's print one of these. Remember to use combination of print and type function. Let's print quantity one. Then let's print the last one, print, then enclose a type function inside print function. Then let's print list underscore price. So let's print them out and see what the result will be. If we look at this now, the first one we printed out first name, say str, telling you that this is a string. Once it's wrap up with quotation mark, that automatically tells you it is string. Strings are generally represented with str. Then quantity one is equals to 3. It says int, telling you it's integers. All numbers are generally integers. Okay. Then the next one, list underscore price. When we printed it out, it came out as well float, telling you that decimals are generally float numbers. Okay, and that's how to identify them. Then there are times in your program where the data, sometimes the data must have been converted from one data type to the other. So it is important we talk about typecasting, whereby you use type function to convert data from one data type to the other. So say we want to convert, as it is now, quantity one. If you say quantity one, we say quantity one, we assign 3 to quantity one. As it is now, we can convert it to string. So if we want to convert it to string, all you need to do, there are two ways of doing it. Is either you wrap it up with a quotation mark, or you use str. Okay, use str function. Then if you reprint it out, you see what's going to happen. So print quantity one. Let's print out quantity one. And if we print out quantity one, we need to include the type function. Then this remain one. Just close it. If you print out, let's see it now. Look at it. The last one, let me remove all of this so that you can see it clearly. If you look at this now, if you print out quantity one, what happened? The class has changed to str, which means this 3 has been converted into string. And likewise, you may decide not to use this. You can wrap it up with quotation mark. Okay, let's wrap it up with quotation mark and reprint again and see what's going to happen. See that it came up, the class came up as str. So the same thing, you can do the same thing to the rest. So if you want to convert to string, you use str. If you want to convert to integer, you use int. If you want to convert to float, you write float. Float does not have short form like all this. Let's try one more. This list underscore price. The list underscore price. Let's change this list underscore price. Let's change it to integer. All you need to do is just to use int function, use combination of int function. So this now we are converting it to. So we're going to print it out and see what the result is going to be. So print, you use combination of print and type function. Okay, don't forget that. And let's put list underscore price. And let's see what's going to happen if you print that. If you print it, you see this has been converted. The new class of this now has been changed to integer. So this has been changed to integers. Can you see that now? From the class, you can tell what the data type is going to be. So because we wrap up in 19.99 with integer function, then it turns to integer. If we did actually print out, if we say print out, you're going to see what I mean now. Print list underscore price, and let's see what is going to print out. Can you see that? So when we print out list underscore price, it gave 19, which means this floating number has been converted into integers. So you can convert data from one data form to the other. You can convert string from string as long as it's numeric number. If a numeric data which is in form of a string can be converted to integers, but regular character cannot be converted into integers. You need to know that. Okay. Then also another thing that I want us to also look at is variables. How do you reassign variables? Reassigning variable is one of the most important concepts that we need to understand. So let's reassign variables and see how that works. As it is now, I'm returning it back to how they were. So let's reassign variables. Let's use what we have here to reassign variable. Initially here we say first name. First name is equals to Mike, right? Now first name, first underscore name, we're reassigning. Let's reassign Joel. Okay, looking at this now. Then quantity. So we have quantity 1. Now let's change this quantity 1 to 10. Quantity 1 to 10. Then quantity 2 to 5. Then let's remove this. Let's see what's going to happen. It's too much space. Okay. Now look at this. Quantity 1 is equals to 10. Quantity 2 is equals to 5. Oh, sorry. We assign 10 to quantity 1. Sorry about that. We're not supposed to use that. It's supposed to say assign because this is an assignment operator. So 10 is assigned to quantity 1 and 5 is assigned to quantity 2. Now let's assign quantity 2 to quantity 1. Anything you quantity, okay, let me say that before typing it out. Whatever you have on the right hand side is assigned to what you have on the left hand side. The left hand side are your variable names. On the right hand side, whatever you have on the right hand side, you assign it to variable on the left hand side so that you can recall it at a later time. So now we want to reassign quantity 2. We want to reassign quantity 2 to quantity 1. Since we are reassigning to another one, reassigning one will be on the right hand side. So which means if we are assigning quantity to 1, it means quantity 1. Now let's write it out to see that. So quantity 1, then we are reassigning quantity 2. So now look at this now. Initially quantity 1 is 10, quantity 2 is 5. Now we reassign quantity 2 to quantity 1. If we print out quantity 2 now, it's going to print out 5 because we already placed quantity 2 on the right hand side. So anything on the right hand side is assigned to the left hand side. Okay, we need to understand that. It's very important. So look at it here now. We say first name equals to Mike. Then again, first name, we assign Mike to first name. Now we assign Joel to first name. Let's print them out and see what the outcome will be. Print first name, then print quantity 1. So we want to print quantity 1 and see what the result will be. Okay, so if you look at it, because anything on the right hand side, since we already placed, look at this now. Quantity 2, when we printed out quantity 1, it printed out 5, and when we printed first name, it printed out Joel, which means we reassign. So if we want to reassign, they will have to be in order. Okay, if we want to, like now we want Joel to take over Mike, it means it has to come after the first one. Joel has to come after Mike. That's the only way you can link them together. So here, initially quantity 1, 10 is assigned to quantity 1. Then later, then quantity 2 is now assigned to 5 is then assigned to quantity 2. Then when we come down here, we now reassign quantity 2 to quantity 1, they will have to be sequentially. There has to be a link between them in order to reassign them to each other. Okay, I hope we and on this, what the key point here is that you use this sign here to assign value to a variable, and string must be enclosed in a quotation mark, but numbers do not. And Python automatically understand the data type based on the assigned value, and you can update variable value at any time. So what we do now, when you reassign, you are updating it. So that's what we've done. So now I want us to have some practice question and see how that is going to be. One moment, please. Okay, so let's look at these are practice questions for this class for us to practice. Okay, so because this video, as this particular video, it's we actually divided it into 3 sections: identifying data type, variable assignment, and assigning variables. So here now I want us to look at this, and let's do a walkthrough and see what the answer is going to be. We didn't talk about the booleans, so you don't need to worry about that. But if you look at it, remember we said strings are generally they are usually placed under quotation mark. This is a string, and if you look at this is whole number, which is 42. This is integer, and this is decimal. This is typically a floating number. This is true, this is boolean, we didn't talk about it. Even though this is initially a float, but because it's under a quotation mark, what happened to it? So this has automatically become string, and this is 0. 0 is a whole number. Okay, and I want you to try this yourself. Write your name in a variable called full name, and put the answer under the comment. Let me see what you store your age in a variable name called age. Store a product price 49.99 in a variable called price. Let's see how you're going to do that. If you give it a try, leave it on the comment and let me see what your answer is going to be. Try this. There's one important one that I would like you to see here. This reassignment, this particular one, I want you to try it. Okay, I want you to try this and tell me what your answer would be. This is very good to practice reassignment. If you can do this, that means you already understand the concept. Okay, and spotting error, if you look at this now, I'm sure in first video of chapter 2 we talk about this, that when you are naming Python you can start with a number. This is going to generate syntax error. So in order to fix it, this is going to be first name, just like how we did here. You write it out correctly like this, and this you can do it in 2 ways. You can turn it to string by completing the quotation mark here, or you remove the quote completely so that it becomes floating data type, and this value equals to true or false. You can have both at the same time. So it's either you choose true is equals to value is equals to true, or you use false. Then this total is equals to 10. If you're going to write it like this, this is character. You have to wrap it up with a quotation mark. But if you want to use it as a numeric, then total is equals to 10. Okay. And these are challenges for you that I want you to try on your own. If you can practice all these questions, then you already understood the concept completely. But this particular one for the assignment, I need someone to try this and tell me if you know this, then you are good to go. All right, I'm going to see you in the next video.